Everybody, my name is Davis and welcome back to another video, and today we are here for another severe weather breakdown. Now we've got a lot of stuff to talk about today, including multiple days of severe weather coming up. We've got some flooding potential with that and much more. So let's go ahead and get right into it, starting off with the SPCL look for today, where we have a marginal risk of severe weather across portions of central and northeastern Oklahoma, extending from Norman back up to Tulsa. So let's go ahead and break down the threats that this brings. Now starting off with the tornado threat for today, we do not have a tornado threat, wind threat, no wind threat either. These storms are going to be your major hail makers. In fact, we're already seeing quite a bit of hail already this morning, even though it's only about 9 a.m. at the time of filming in that area, okay? So definitely look out for some hail today if you are from the Norman, Oklahoma City, Tulsa area. So, yeah, moving on to tomorrow here, we're going to have a slight risk of severe weather. These storms will intensify, head off to the southeast here, okay? So, the slight risk of severe weather is going to extend from Lufkin back over to Jackson. So let's go ahead and break down the threats that this brings. Tornado threat for tomorrow is actually going to be very high, okay? Extending from Lufkin back over to Jackson. You have a 5% chance to see a tornado anywhere in that area, okay? Whenever I say a 5% chance to see a tornado, that doesn't mean that tomorrow there's only a 5% chance to see a tornado. It means there's a 5% chance to see a tornado anywhere in that area, right? So there's a 5% chance to see one in Jackson, but there's also a 5% chance to see one in Alexandria, and it kind of adds up in that whole area. So don't think that there's only a 5% chance to see a tornado anywhere tomorrow, because it's actually much higher than that. But yeah, tornado threat pretty high for tomorrow. Damaging wind risk high as well, okay? You have a 15% chance to see wind gusts of 60 miles an hour higher. If you're in Lufkin, Alexandria, Shreveport, Jackson, or Greenville, once again, we are definitely going to see some area with wind gusts of 60 miles an hour higher. But overall, in that whole area, no matter where you're at, you have a 15% chance to see that, if that makes sense. Hail threat, we also have a 15% chance to see, or you have a 15% chance to see hail tomorrow if you're in Lufkin, back up to Shreveport, okay? This threat is going to be more off to the west where the hail threat is today, but still look out for that. And then going all the way into Tuesday, already have a marginal risk of severe weather extending from Mobile back up to Columbus, so look out for that. Unfortunately, we cannot break down those threats from right now, but that's probably going to be like the final marginal risk for this one storm that's moving through the south. Watches, warnings, and advisories, okay, everybody? This is going to be a pretty crazy day in terms of watches, warnings, and advisories. So we've got special weather statements mainly due to fire danger here across portions of Virginia and Tennessee. Looks like we might also have some of those back up into Wisconsin, okay? Dense fog advisories down into portions of South Texas around the Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Galveston area, so look out for that. High wind watches in effect in portions of northwest Utah in the dark brown there. Look out for that. Very strong wind gusts possible today. High wind warnings in effect in southwest California and the San Diego area. High winds expected there today. Purples that are kind of scattered around the western U.S., those are going to be your winter weather advisories, so look out for that. Several inches of snow possible there over the next 24 to 48 hours. And then the pinks are winter storm warnings, okay? Now, I will have an update on the snowfall totals later tonight, but today we are mainly just breaking down the severe weather threat. And then we do have actually some frost advisories in portions of northwest California, so be careful driving on icy roads. Alright, and obviously we're probably going to get some more stuff in Oklahoma today. So next up, we are going to be talking about the flooding here. Now, for some reason, my computer stopped liking the excessive rainfall outlook, so I'm just going to have to bring it up on my iPad here and screencast it. So no flooding risk today, actually. But it's whenever we move on to tomorrow that gets a little concerning, because we are going to have a marginal risk of flash flooding in the deep south here with this storm that is going to be moving through from New Orleans all the way up into like extreme, like just the southern tip of Illinois there, around the Paducah, Kentucky area. So definitely look out for that. You have a 5% chance to see flooding tomorrow if you are in that area. And then we go into Tuesday. You're going to have another 5% chance to see flash flooding if you're anywhere from extreme isolated tips of the Florida Panhandle here back up into portions of New York even. So this is a pretty large marginal risk. And then going into Wednesday, that risk will continue to move off to the northeast, extending from Providence back up to the Maine-Canada border. So look out for that. Thursday, we do not have a flash flooding risk. And you know what? Scratch what I said about not breaking down the snowfall totals. This is going to be insane. I just noticed. I thought this was going to be a large snowstorm, but I didn't realize how strong this was actually going to be. Just east of Salt Lake City, Utah, over 1.5 feet of snow possible in those extreme dark blue colors in the mountains, okay? We can't get a good reading, unfortunately, but you're really going to have to trust me on this, okay? If you look at the bottom of your screen, you might see, like, some of these color correlations to how many inches of snow that equates to. And we're kind of in, like, the second darkest blue there in some of these areas. So this is going to be some very heavy snowfall. Again, just because it says 6 inches of snow over your area does not mean that's how much you're going to get. The AccuWeather readings are very weird. This is going to be an intense snowstorm. And this is only over the next 24 hours as well. Actually, 23 hours. Okay, this is only up to 8 a.m. Central Time tomorrow. Compare that to whatever your local time is. This is going to be a very intense snowstorm. We do have winter storm warnings in effect. I didn't realize that it was going to be this bad, though. Some very heavy snowfall totals. I'm really looking for anywhere just to get a good reading, just to prove that I'm not lying. Some areas could see over 1 foot of snow. I mean, you're going to have to check a different weather source to find how much snowfall you're actually going to get, like a local weather source. Because obviously this one is not doing its job today, but very intense. Very intense in Utah, especially northern Utah around Salt Lake City. So definitely look out for that over the next 23, 24 hours or so. Very, very strong winter storm coming through. And then, I mean, it doesn't just stop there. There are more areas that are going to see snow, but I think I'm going to wait till tonight to break that down, since I wasn't even planning on doing this morning. But right after I stopped the recording, I just had a look, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of snow. So yeah, definitely look out for that. But other than that, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.